Number 81, Marian Hossa.
Hey guys, it's Nick, and second video of the day, and it's about 3-time Stanley Cup Champion of your Chicago Blackhawks, number 81, Marian Hossa. And he is now a 2020 Hall of Famer. I am so happy to say that, because Marian Hossa is and always will be my favorite all-time NHL player, and now I can say my favorite Hall of Famer. It's just insane to know that Marian Hossa was a first ballot Hall of Famer. I am so happy to say that, because knowing that he is my favorite player of all time, seeing that he gets into the Hall of Fame on first ballot, with a lot of names out there, it's awesome to see. Hossa had a 19-year career in the NHL, where he played 1,309 games in that in that Hall of Fame career, with 525 goals, where he scored his 500th in the season of the 2016-17 against the Philadelphia Flyers, and had a total of 609 assists for a total of 1,134 points on his Hall of Fame career. Hossa played with several teams, as everyone knows that. He was drafted by the Ottawa Senators all the way back in the 1997 NHL draft at 12th overall. He played with the Senators for a total of 7 seasons, where he then got moved after signing a long-term contract with the Senators. He got traded over to the Atlanta Thrashers. Played with the Thrashers for 3 seasons. Honestly, he was he was one of the better players for the Atlanta Thrashers, where at that time, yes, the Thrashers sucked, and that's why they're now the Winnipeg Jets. And he played 3 seasons with the Thrashers. In that time, he played 222 games, having 108 goals, 140 assists, for a total of 248 points. Not bad numbers for 3 seasons, all with one team. And then with his time in Ottawa for 7 seasons, he put up 467 games with 188 goals, that is, for a total of 390 points, with a total of 202 assists. Not bad numbers again, but he's played longer in this jersey, the greatest in all of sports. He got moved in the 2008 trade deadline to the Pittsburgh Penguins to try to win him a Stanley Cup. In the 2008 run with the Penguins, in the regular season, he played 12 games with them, putting up 3 goals and having 7 assists, for a total of 10 points. But his playoff numbers with the Penguins were pretty outstanding, to say at least. In 20 playoff games with the Penguins, he put up 12 goals, 14 assists, for a total of 26 points on the playoff in 2008. The Penguins went on to lose the Stanley Cup, but if the Penguins won the Stanley Cup, I think Marian Hossa probably would come out as the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Then he went free agent and signed with the Detroit Red Wings after having a solid playoff run with the Penguins, the team he lost to with in the Cup Final to the team that won the Cup in 2008, the Detroit Red Wings. In the 2008-9 season with the Detroit Red Wings, Marian Hossa played 74 games, having 40 goals, 31 assists, for a total of 71 points on the season. Very solid season by the Hoss, putting up 40 goals all with one team in one season by signing a one-year deal. Then he goes to the playoffs, where the Red Wings, they had another great run. They make it all the way to the Stanley Cup Final, beating the Chicago Blackhawks in the Western Conference Final. In his playoff run with the Red Wings, he ended up with a total of 23 games with 9 assists and 6 goals for a total of 15 points. Not as many points as he put up with the Penguins the year prior. And then the Red Wings lost the Stanley Cup to the team he left, the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, Marian Hossa is a Hall of Famer now, and he decides to sign with the young and uprising Chicago Blackhawks in the offseason of 2009, signing a long-term contract, a 12-year one that's still actually in place currently in the Arizona system. And he signs that with the Chicago Blackhawks to look for that one goal, the Stanley Cup. And he comes out with not one, not just 2, but 3 Stanley Cups to make up for the 2 that he lost in Pittsburgh and in Detroit. He was a 5-time finalist, and 3 of them he went to and won, all wearing this jersey. So with the Chicago Blackhawks in 8 seasons of play, he played a total of 534 games, putting up 186 goals, 229 assists, for a total of 415 points, all with the Chicago Blackhawks. Marian Hossa is a Hall of Famer, and when he played for the Hawks, he was the best at the defensive forward game. In my opinion, Marian Hossa is and probably should be one of the greatest defensive forwards in NHL history, even though he never won a Selke trophy, which is a shame, but he was a winger. Wingers usually don't get as much praise to their defensive game than like the centerman. But Marian Hossa had the greatest 200-foot game in the NHL throughout his career. So, we go to his playoff numbers in the Chicago Blackhawks. in 8 seasons of play. He made the playoffs every year. He was in a Hawks uniform with a total of 107 games played, 21 goals, 52 assists, for a total of 73 points on his playoff career with the Chicago Blackhawks. He put himself down as one of the greatest Blackhawks in history, in my opinion. In the first playoff run with the Hoss on the lineup, 2010, he scored his first Blackhawk playoff goal after serving a 5-minute major after boarding someone on the Nashville Predators. I can't remember the player at this moment, but he served a 5-minute major. The Hawks were down in the score. Patrick Kane scored a shorthanded goal to tie the game up and force overtime. So, in overtime, Marian Hossa comes out of the box, and he gets the perfect opportunity to score his first Blackhawk playoff goal by going up to the front of the net and waits for a shot from Sopel, gets deflected by Bolin, and it gets right onto Marian Hossa's stick, and Hoss buries it with the great celebration he put on for his first Blackhawk playoff goal. And then in 2007 and 2016, he ended up scoring his last Blackhawk playoff goal and last of his playoff career with the Blackhawks, because he did not score in the 2017 playoffs. That playoff we don't talk about. But in the 2016 playoffs, Marian Hossa scored his last playoff career goal in a Game 7 against the St. Louis Blues. I actually got to see that goal in person, knowing that it ended up being his final playoff goal of his career. That is something insane to say. Marian Hossa will go down forever as my favorite Blackhawk and favorite NHL player of all time. And now I could say he's my favorite Hall of Famer. It's awesome to know that. So, down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts are on Marian Hossa being a first ballot Hall of Famer. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, Hossa, Hossa, Hossa.